Nobody ever explains the rules of money. They just drop you into the system and expect you to figure it out. But what if the problem isn't you? What if you're playing a game you were never taught how to win? You grow up wanting to be rich and successful. That's the goal you're given by society, because who wouldn't want to be rich? You grind, you put in hours, you try to level up your skills and earn more points. And when it doesn't work, you blame yourself. But here's the truth. Nobody tells you money isn't just paper with value attached to it. It's a game. And that game was rigged before you ever started playing. And before this video ends, you're going to realize how money works, why it's a rigged game, and how to beat the game in its own rules. Money is a game because it operates on fixed rules. Those rules don't change based on how hard you try or what you believe. They apply to everyone. In this game, every action has a predictable outcome. If you work, you get paid. If you spend money, your balance goes down. If you save money, you postpone spending it until later. Just like in a game like GTA, the actions you make repeat over and over. You work, you earn, you spend, you repeat. The system responds the same way every time. The game is driven by incentives. Behaviors that increase your money are encouraged. Behaviors that decrease it are discouraged. Over time, this shapes how players act without them realizing it. Money also tracks results. Your bank balance shows how much purchasing power you have. Your income shows how much you can earn. Your expenses show how fast that money leaves. And unlike most games, this one never stops. Whether you pay attention or not, money is still being earned, spent, saved, or lost. Every choice you make moves something up or down. Now that you understand why money is a game, you're going to find out why the game is rigged. Why the game is rigged? The money game is rigged because the rules don't reward all behaviors equally. On paper, everyone is allowed to play, but not everyone is taught how the system actually works. From an early age, most people are trained for one role, earning money by trading time for it. School teaches how to follow instructions, meet deadlines, and work for pay, but it rarely teaches how money itself functions. You're not taught how income is created beyond wages. You're not taught how money can grow, multiply, or work without constant labor. So most players enter the game knowing how to earn, but not how the system rewards different types of participation. This creates another rigged mechanic. Having money makes it easier to make more money. Players who start with capital have access to opportunities that aren't available to players starting with only time and less capital. People who only know how to trade time for money are locked into linear progress. Income rises only when more time is given. Meanwhile, the system rewards money that can grow independently of time. When money is put into assets like businesses or investments, the amount of money increases through compounding rather than staying flat. On top of that, basic costs tend to increase over time. This means maintaining the same position requires more effort each year. Because these mechanics are never clearly explained, most players assume outcomes are personal, that falling behind means they didn't try hard enough. In reality, the game is designed with unequal starting knowledge and unequal starting resources, and those differences shape outcomes long before effort alone can. Knowing the game is rigged doesn't help you win. Knowing how to use those rules does. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll understand how to beat the game from inside the system. How people lose the game. Common traps. People usually lose the money game through a combination of small, repeated decisions. None of them feel like mistakes on their own, but together they create a pattern that's hard to escape. The first way people lose is by relying on a single income source. When all money comes from trading time for pay, income is capped by the number of hours available. If work slows, income slows. This keeps progress tied directly to effort, not improvement in position. The second way people lose is through lifestyle inflation. As income increases, spending increases alongside it. Raises and bonuses feel like progress, but higher expenses quietly reset the player back to the same level. The third way people lose is through consumer debt. Borrowing money for things that don't produce income creates obligations that take future income before it's even earned. This reduces flexibility and limits future choices. Another losing pattern is focusing only on short-term stability. Saving without understanding long-term effects can feel safe while still leading to stagnation. Money sits still while costs continue to rise. Once you understand how people lose the game, the next step is learning how some players avoid these traps. Finally, the moment you all been waiting for, how to beat the money game. To beat the system, you need to become Player 2. Becoming Player 2 is not a single decision. It's a process of changing how you think, learn, and act inside the money game. And before money can work differently for you, your understanding of the system has to change first. The first requirement to becoming Player 2 is education. Every part of the money game follows rules like how income is generated, how assets behave, how debt works, and how risk is distributed. If you don't understand these rules, any attempt to use money strategically becomes guesswork. Player 2 doesn't move money blindly. They study how different systems produce returns, how long those returns take, and what conditions can cause them to fail. This knowledge turns uncertainty into calculated risk. The second requirement is creating surplus. Knowledge alone doesn't change your position unless you have money available to act on it. Player 2 understands exactly where their money goes and intentionally reduces spending that does not improve long-term outcomes. This surplus is not extra spending money. It is capital, money reserved for strategic use. Without surplus, every dollar is already assigned to survival, leaving no room to change how the game is played. The third requirement is protecting that surplus. Player 1 uses surplus to increase comfort. Player 2 separates capital from consumption. This distinction is critical because once capital is spent, it loses its ability to produce future value. Money isn't random, and it isn't personal. It's a system with rules, roles, and incentives. Most people are taught to be a slave, but once you understand how the game actually works, you can change how you play it.